welcome back to Real Reviews. This is Cody Williams, and we're here to talk about the new series on Netflix, The Haunting of Bly Manor. After Mike Flanagan's successful take on The Haunting of Hill House from a couple of years ago, he decided to take a jab with a different story and setting based on the novel from Henry James, The Turn of the Screw. We even had a movie, The Turning, that shared the same story that released back in January, and it flopped majorly in box office numbers. Never seen it because I didn't want to set myself to it. Before we get any further, let me tell you about the synopsis of this new Netflix series. After an au pair's tragic death, Henry Wingrave hires a young American nanny to care for his orphan niece and nephew who reside at Bly Manor with a chef Owen, groundskeeper Jamie, and housekeeper Mrs. Groves. Soon after arriving at Bly Manor, the new nanny begins to experience strange occurrences and a grim history starts to unravel. After finally finishing this new Netflix series in only a matter of a couple days of binge watching, I will say that it's emotional and satisfying. However, it's not what I really expected, to be frank. I was expecting a full-fledged horror story as much as the liking of The Haunting of Hill House was. Sure, it has spooky elements thrown into the mix of things, but I find this series to be more of a gothic romance story, such as the movie Crimson Peak. Just like The Haunting of Hill House was, there are tons of ghosts that can be seen in the background. Some are subtly hard to visually make out unless you're really paying attention, and there are some that obviously stand out. That aspect really makes rewatching the show even more fun when you see something that you didn't catch the first time around. The main thing about this new series that can be equally appreciated by everyone is the gorgeous cinematography and the beautifully grand set design. Visually speaking, everything was splendid. What's really cool is that there are returning actors from The Haunting of Hill House, and they're all playing new characters this time around, and they do so tremendously. Speaking of characters, everyone's British accents felt too forced for my liking, especially during the first episode. I was drawn aback by it, but during future episodes it didn't bother me as bad. It just takes some time to get accustomed to. The acting by everyone was amazing. All the characters were perfectly written. One of my favorite story arcs for a character was the housekeeper Mrs. Groves. She has one of the best episodes of the series in my opinion. I really want to give a shout out to Tania Miller for perfectly portraying the character, and she did a fantastic job. Even though everyone it was equally awesome as far as acting goes, but another standout were the child actors who were phenomenal. If there's anything I didn't like, it would have to be after the third or so episode. It does tend to slow down as far as pacing goes. When it gets to presumably the 7th episode is when things start to pick up really well. Overall, The Haunting of Bly Manor is an exhilarating series. However, it doesn't quite live up to the expectations to that of The Haunting of Hill House. I give this series an A-. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Keep up with my real reviews.